Hi everyone. Hi. Um, just checking if everything's working fine. If you guys can hear me, see my screen and whatnot, just let me know in the chat box. Okay, so just testing, everything working? Yep, okay, everything's working. Screen is working. You guys can hear me clearly. Hi AJ, hi. Sound and screen clear. Okay, hi. Thanks HMH. Hi everyone. Hi Buddha. Lama, hi. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get started because I do have a few charts I want to cover today. Just gonna quickly do this so that we can have more time on the charts and if you guys have any questions. Yeah, so hi everyone. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets Global. Okay, today's webinar will be a live trading session, or basically a live session. We're gonna go on the charts. We're gonna do some analysis. I'm going to show you guys how I usually do my analysis. I mean, majority of you here are just regulars, so you guys already know how this works. So today's the 18th of August and it is 5:30 p.m. here in Singapore. Not sure what time it is where you guys are. If you're not shy, do share in the chat box. In the chat box, like where you guys are from and what time is it. I know some of you are from South Africa. I'm not sure about the rest. Okay, disclaimer. I'm gonna stay here for 1 minute so you guys can read the disclaimer and I'm gonna like explain it in a while. Okay, cool. So disclaimer, you guys already know how this works. I have to do this every webinar just to remind you guys that these webinars are only for educational purposes. You should not take any of this webinar as a signals group, any form of financial advice, any form of like investment advice or any, don't take it as a sign to get in for buy or sell or whatever it is. Anything I share in this webinar again is purely educational. I'm merely showing you guys how I usually find my setup as a trader. Please take it as educational and do not take it like, don't take it as okay, she said to buy, I'm gonna get in for a buy. Okay, so another risk warning is trading forex and CFDs, especially on margin, is very very risky. Okay, and you should only do it, right, you should only do it with funds you can afford to lose. Okay, please do not risk more than you can afford to lose. Please don't go and borrow funds. Please don't, yeah, over leverage. Please be disciplined in this because you can get burned really badly if you're not doing it right. If you're doing it right, you can make a lot of money. If you're not doing it right, it works both way. It works both ways. You can lose a lot of money as well. Okay, so please be careful and only do what you can. Only risk what you can. Oh yeah, also another reminder that past performance does not guarantee future results. I'm saying this because I know in a lot of my webinars I say that I made like 6% this week, I made 4% this week. Okay, just because I'm profitable certain weeks, it does not mean that I'm gonna be profitable all the time. Sometimes I also have losses. It is the same for you guys. Just because you are very profitable one week, you shouldn't over leverage the next week thinking that you're going to be very profitable again. Okay, so introducing your host. You guys already know me because most of you here are regulars. Okay, my name is Cassandra. You guys can call me Cass. I am an investment analyst and a prop trader at Everest Fortune Group. Hi Boaz. Okay, so Everest Fortune Group is an research firm. We do a lot of like back testing, a lot of research, a lot of forecasting of where we think the markets are going. We basically just study the charts a lot. Okay, so our this Average Fortune Group has been the finalist for the best forex and best equity research for multiple years running. We come up with a lot of data and a lot of materials. Maybe some of the materials that you see online or wherever may even be material that was created by our team or churned up by our team. Okay, so you are in good hands. Other than that, I am a prop trader. So to become a prop trader, for me, I had to take a test. The test required me to do 10% in profit within a month, which is 30 days and 22 trading days. Okay, why is it 22 trading days? Because Saturday and Sundays are not counted. Okay, so I've done that 10% a month thing multiple times already, and I'm in the midst of doing it again right now. Okay, yeah, so that's me. I specialize in technical analysis, not so much in fundamental analysis because I'm not so much of a news trader. I am more of a technical trader. So if you guys have any questions regarding anything to do with trading, especially if it's technical analysis or anything at all, do ask me in the chat box. You don't have to be shy. You can ask me anything at all. Anything you want to ask me about trading in the chat box, and I'll answer you to the best of my ability. Because again, the whole point of IC Markets coming up with these webinars is so that you guys have a platform to go to or somewhere to go to bring up the things that you are confused about. Okay, so ask me in the chat box and I'll try my best to answer you. Agenda for today will be key approaches, cheat sheet checklist, and then we're gonna head to the live chart. So straight to the cheat sheet checklist. Again, for those who are new here, I don't really see anyone new other than Boaz. The rest of you are regulars. You guys know how this works. I usually go on the charts. I look for trend. That means I look for an uptrend or a downtrend. I use a trend line or channel. A channel would require me to have 2 touches on top, 2 touches at the bottom. And then I look for horizontal levels. So why am I looking for trend? Because if I cannot find trend, then I cannot find my direction of buying or selling. If it's an uptrend, obviously I want to get in for a buy. If it's a downtrend, I want to get in for a sell. Why? Because I want to follow the waves. I want to follow the trend. I don't want to go against the waves. If price is going up, obviously I want to get in for a buy because then there's not much resistance. Okay, so after looking for the trend, I'm going to look for horizontal levels. So when I say horizontal levels, I mean pullbacks, overlaps, swing highs, swing lows. Okay, basically key levels that price likes to go to. Okay, because horizontal levels and all these like key levels are levels that price are attracted to. They're like magnets. Okay, just imagine them as magnets. Price is very attracted to it and it wants to keep going back to that area. Okay, after that we're going to look for any chart pattern, so wedges, triangles, double tops and double bottoms, followed by golden cross and death crosses. I don't really use this, but I mean we can try to use this today. Honestly, I do want to try using it once in a while. The next thing is stochastics and RSI. Okay, why I put it in the checklist even though I don't use it is because this is the checklist that our company uses. Okay, this is the cheat sheet that our company uses. Mine is a little different, but yeah, I'm gonna use our company's because that's the one that has results as well. Okay, and then after that we're going to look at stochastics and RSI to see if there's any divergences or to see if price is at any of the support and resistance levels, followed by correlation. So when I say correlation, I mean like if you are trading Canadian dollars, for example, you do want to look at gold, sorry, not gold, oil as well, because Canada is a very big producer of oil. So if Canadian dollars is going up, usually oil is going up. That means that if you are doing analysis on USD CAD, right, the Canadian dollars against the US dollars, and you want to short the Canadian dollars, okay, you want to buy USD CAD, meaning you're shorting the Canadian dollars, it means that you also expect oil prices to be going down because oil prices should go the same direction as the Canadian dollars. Okay, other forms of correlations is the New Zealand dollars and the Australian dollars. They are quite correlated. And let me see, inverse correlation is like cryptocurrency and gold, because gold is a safe haven asset. So if gold is going up, usually cryptocurrency is going down because cryptocurrency is considered a risky asset. And yeah, so they're directly inverse. And other forms of correlation is if you are trading any US dollar pair, you also want to go and reference the DXY, which is the dollar US dollar index. Okay, other than that, after we're done doing the technical analysis part, I will then decide whether I want to get in for a reversal or a breakout. Usually I want to get in for a reversal. I'm not so much of a breakout trader. Again, just a reminder, anything I share with you guys on this webinar is basically my style of trading. Okay, it is only my style of trading. That means my style of trading, I like to trade reversals. I do not like to trade breakouts. Okay, breakouts, I've done that back testing on it and I can't seem to get really good results with breakouts. I do get really good results with reversals. Therefore, I usually look for reversals to trade with. Okay, so that's all I have for the cheat sheet. Thanks for sitting through that introduction. Let me pull out the charts. Okay, let me pull out the charts. Give me a sec. Okay, cool. This is gonna. This is not my account. This is IC Markets account. Okay, this is IC Markets account. Let me just. I don't want to ruin the analysis my team has made. So, okay, let's do EURUSD. Let's decide the charts we want to look at. If you guys have any requests, just put it in the chat box and then we can look at it together. Otherwise, I'm just going to go through my usual. You guys already know what my usuals are. It's EURUSD, ETHUSD, XAUUSD, and one non-USD pair. So the one non-USD pair, I like to do GBP JPY, which is the British pound against the Japanese yen. Okay, so that's my one and only non-USD pair. Whenever you're looking for charts, you want to find IC markets here. Okay, so that the spreads, okay, the numbers are the same as your charts. Okay, you want to find the ones that are same as your charts. I'm going to get rid of all this analysis. We're going to do... So we're going to do ETHUSD. I want to choose IC markets again. XAUUSD, EURUSD, and the last one will be GBPJPY. Again, choose IC markets. Okay, these were analysis done by my team earlier on. I will just leave this here for a while in case I want to reference, but otherwise I shouldn't be referencing too much on this. Okay, let's start with ETHUSD. I actually already did an analysis earlier on. Okay, I actually already did an analysis earlier on. Okay, so ETHUSD, what do I think it is? Can you guys let me know in the chat box? So I want it to be a little bit more interactive. Do you guys see price going on an uptrend or a downtrend? It's a very simple question, obvious answer. Just let me know in the chat box so that I know you guys are still following me. Anyone at all? Do you guys see ETHUSD going on uptrend or downtrend? Okay, thank you so much, Buddha. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. It is going on an uptrend. I am biased that it is going on an uptrend, so it's very obvious. So like I said, the cheat sheet was to look for trend line. Either a trend line or a channel. So a trend line would require 3 touches. In this case, it's 1, 2, and this barely touch, but yeah, I guess I would count it as a touch. Okay, 3 touches. If not, you want to look for a channel. Where is the horizontal channel? Not fib channel. There you go, parallel channel. Okay, channels would require... So it really depends on how you draw it. Okay, 2 touches on top, and 2 touches at the bottom. I guess I would kind of say this is a touch because it depends on how I draw it. Okay, there you go. Okay, so 2 touches at the bottom, so that is a valid channel, and based on technical analysis, price should be moving within this channel. Okay, not all the time, but we're just going to use this as reference. Okay, we're going to use this as reference. Obviously, it's not going to move within the channel all the time, but we're just going to use this as reference. So based on this, we already have a bias that price is going up. Therefore, we have a bias of wanting to get in for a buy. So that's one thing. The second thing is that for those who've been following my webinars for a long time, I know you guys have been following me week after week after week. You know that I already have a Elliott wave analysis on Ethereum. Okay, I basically think that we are on wave 1. Okay, for those who are new here, Elliott wave is when price moves in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a really bad color. I'm going to change it to white. Okay, price move in a 5-wave pattern. This is Mr. Elliott. I don't think that's his name. Okay, it's Mr. something Elliott. He noticed that when he looked at the chart, price is constantly moving in 5 waves. Okay, 5 zigzag waves. Okay, so I see price moving in 5 waves right now. Okay, this is my 1. Okay, this is my 2. This is my 3, and then we're going into 4 and 5. Okay, this is what I see. I could be wrong. Okay, but there are guidelines and rules on Elliott wave. Okay, these are my guidelines on Elliott. There are guidelines. Okay, I did not make these guidelines up. You can basically Google Elliott wave guidelines, but find a reputable source. Okay, so anyways, the sources is that the guideline is that wave 2 is usually 50% of wave 1. So if we pull out Fibonacci, we pull from the bottom, pull it to the top, you will see 50%, which is right here. You will see 50%, which is right here. Price, basically, okay, I'm going to get rid of that because it looks really messy. Actually, I'm going to get rid of everything. How do I get rid of everything? Okay, I cannot unclick everything, so I have to slowly, manually. I don't know how. I'm going to slowly, manually remove everything one by one. Okay. You can see price lining exactly at the 50%. So wave 1, the requirement for wave 1 and wave 2 has been met. Wave 2 usually pulls 50% of wave 1. So that is done. Okay, the second thing, okay, wave 3 is usually 161.8 of wave 1. Okay, so we're gonna pull out Fibonacci again to see if that is correct. So we're gonna pull the trend-based Fib retracement. We're gonna take this first point here, second point here, and the starting point of 2 to see where 161.8. So you can see price is right now at 161.8. So based on the guidelines for Elliott wave, this wave right now is meeting the requirements for Elliott wave. So now the 161.8 has been met, which is the usual. Okay, it is not 100%, but it's just like usually this is what happens with Elliott wave. Usually this is what happens with Elliott wave. At 161.8, you will start to see a reaction to the downside. Okay, so I think that's done. Wave 3 is done. We're now going into wave 4. So the requirement for wave 4 is this. Okay, if wave 2 pulled 50%, usually wave 4 will pull 23.6% or 38.2%. Okay, these are the two levels that wave 4 usually pull if wave 2 pulls 50%. So based on guidelines, hey Jamilu, welcome. Based on guidelines, we have seen everything working out nicely. Wave 2 pulled beautifully at 50% here. Wave 3 is now at the 161.8%. These are the common levels for Elliott wave. Now we can expect that wave 3 is over. Okay, there is a chance that wave 3 is not over. Okay, because although this is the common target, there are sometimes it goes to 261. Okay, I cannot remember. Usually, okay, 227, I think. Okay, so although 161.8 is the common and usual target, it doesn't mean that it cannot go higher. It can go higher, it's just that usually it stops at 161.8. Okay, so 161.8 is met. I can now expect, based on guideline, to think that we are going to start a wave 4. Wave 4, the requirement is, again, start from wave 2 to wave 3. It usually retraces 23.6% or 38.2%. Usually, okay? Usually, these are the targets for wave 4. So I can expect price to come here or here. Okay, I want this to be very accurate. I want this to be very accurate. I'm gonna pull this. Yeah. Wave 23.6 or 38.2 is where I think price is going to pull back to. I don't know where, but this is what I think it's going to happen. Okay. Okay, so now that's that. I can now go down to the small time frame because I have a rough idea of where I think price is going to stop and where my entry is going to be. Let me pull out, go to the page 4. Okay, now that I have two possible entry zones, I think possibly price is going to enter, come to one of this and then reverse. Okay, so this is my possible buy entry. And this is my first possible buy entry, my second possible buy entry. Which one is it going to be? I don't know. I don't know which level is price going to pull back to, right? I have no idea which level price is going to pull back to. That's why we need to find confluence. Okay, we now need to find confluence. We need to see where there are more things lining up. So I'll give you an example. Again, I use this example very often. If you go, like, you go into a shop, okay, you see a red shirt you want to buy, and then you're like, oh, I don't know if this red shirt looks good on me. Let me go and collect information and then make my decision. So how are you going to collect information? You're going to ask your mom, does this red shirt look good on me? Should I get this red shirt? And then your mom's like, yes, this looks good on you. So you ask your dad. Your dad is like, no, it doesn't look good on you. The red doesn't look good with your skin tone. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, now you ask your brother. Your brother says yes. Your uncle says yes. Your cousin says yes. Okay, so there's more people saying yes, and there's only one person saying no. Okay, it's the same. So right now I have either this or this. I don't know which one it is. Okay, there's a 50-50% chance. Just like, should I get the red dress? Should I get the red shirt or should I not get the red shirt? It's a 50% decision, right? So right now I don't know if I should get in here or I should get in here. So now you need to ask technical analysis, where should you get in? Okay, so based on Elliott wave guidelines, 23.6 is a normal place that price gets in. If not, sometimes it is 38.2. So more commonly it is 23.6. So immediately, based on guidelines alone, we're already more biased. Okay, I'm just going to write this as A and B. Or 1. And then buy entry 2. Bias to 1. I'm already biased to 1. Why? Because based on the guidelines for Elliott wave, usually if price pulls back 50% for 2, which it did, it pulled 50% for 2, usually for 4 it's going to be 23.6. Okay, usually it's going to be 23.6. Obviously it's not going to happen all the time, but most of the time that's what happens. So I'm already biased from 1. Okay, number 2, we now need to see if there's any horizontal levels for 1 and 2. So if we look here, you can see that there's a swing, kind of like a, if you look closely at the structure, there's like this reaction here, like kind of like a swing low. Okay, so it makes me want to put a what you call this, a zone here, because of there's a horizontal level here. So there's a horizontal level here. Again, guys, this is not my account. This is IC Markets account. That's why the settings are a bit weird than our usual settings. Okay, so this area, there's a swing low here. But if we look at this area, which is a 38.2 area, is there a swing low here? Wait, what happened to my fib levels? Yeah, there you go. Okay, if you look at here, I don't really see any horizontal levels. Like I do see it, like I see this and I see this. And I guess I see this. Okay, you know what? There is a horizontal level. Sorry, I didn't see it earlier on. Okay, I guess you can say this is a horizontal level as well. Okay, so there's one here. Price kind of did this. Then second time it did this, and then you can see third time, fourth time, fifth time, and then you got this sixth time. Okay, so there's a lot of reaction happening here too. Okay, there's a lot of reaction happening here too. So possibly there's a possibility. Okay, so at this current point of time, it is still a one-on-one. I still don't know which one to get in. Should I get in here or should I get in here? I still don't know. Okay, let's pull out more Fibonacci levels. I'm gonna take this swing low here, okay, which is different from the swing low that I took, okay, which is different from the swing low I took just now. To swing low here and see if there are any levels that come out. So the levels that I want to see is okay, I've got 50%, 68, 78.2. I'm going to change this to red. Not this one to red, this to red. Yeah. I see the 38.2 lining up very closely to this zone that we drew. Okay, this 50% is not relevant to us. It's just like in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing there. There's no reason for us to think that it's relevant. 23.6 has already passed. So I don't think price, it's not relevant to us. 38.2 looks relevant. 61.8 not really relevant because we are kind of focusing on these two zones only, and then we've got a 78.2. Okay, so far now it's still one-to-one. It's like you ask your brother, your mom, your blah blah blah, and then half of them says no and half of them says yes. Okay, so far still not biased towards anyone. It could be either one at this point of time. Let me see if there's anything else I want to use. If I pull out this trend line to see if anything comes out. Okay, not really giving me more information right now. Not really seeing more information. Sorry, guys. Still no bias of which one is better. We now need to pull out more things. Okay, so Fibonacci levels are not really giving us a lot of information. Let me pull out. You know what? I'm actually a bit more biased of this being the entry, right? But there is this candle here that is forming. Looks like a reversal candle, but we need to, I cannot confirm until the candle closes. Okay, I think possibility, okay, that entry 1 or 2, it's either one of it. Okay, I'm confident, I'm biased that's gonna be one of it. Right now, no clear signs of which one it's gonna be. Let me pull out Ichimoku. Yeah. Do you see the cloud? Do you guys see this cloud? Do you guys see the Ichimoku cloud? It's very dark visibility. I'm trying to make it clearer. Yeah, so do you guys see that green cloud? Okay, so how Ichimoku works is that the cloud is a form of support resistance. So you can see that price is aligning with this resistance here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come up with a conclusion anyways. Eventually I'm gonna have to come up with a conclusion. give me a moment. So let me pull out more indicators. Golden cross, moving average. Let's try simple moving average, 50 and 100. Bearish channel. Oh, on the smaller time frame. Okay. I kind of have a rough idea of what I want to do now. Thanks for highlighting on the bearish channel. Thank you for highlighting on that. I want to change this to red, because okay, when I see red, I know that it's going down. Okay, cool. I've kind of came up with my conclusion. Okay, there is a chance that price is gonna react off here right now and just continue up. Okay, because if it reacts off here, it already met the minimum target of Elliott wave, which is 23.6. Okay, so 23.6 is the minimum target for Elliott wave 4. Okay, so I'm thinking I might want to get in here for a buy. Okay, right now it's just like I'm pretty confident, but like there are signs that are showing that it's down. Maybe you can see if there's a divergence. If there's a divergence, then I'm very sure I'm gonna be confident that it's gonna be this. Okay, if I don't see a divergence and I see price kind of at a support area right now, no divergences. Anyone sees a divergence? No, right? No divergence. Price is going down. The chart is also going down. I don't see any divergence. Anyone see any divergence? Nope. If I see a divergence right now, I'm immediately convinced that this is going to be the entry. Okay, but at this current point of time, don't really see any divergences. Okay, I'm going to come up with a conclusion. Okay, I'm gonna delete everything so that the charts are clear. I don't like it. When I do my analysis, I like everything to be like clear. I don't want to see like things on my charts, so that it doesn't confuse me. Okay. Okay, I think there's a high chance. I'm gonna get rid of this. Get rid of this. There's reason for me to believe that it's gonna be either one of this. At this kind of point of time, I cannot really give you like 100% that it's gonna be the number 1 or 2. So what I'm gonna do is probably get into 2 trades. Okay, I'm probably gonna get into 2 trades. I might just get into this trade depending on how this candle closes. If this candle closes as a reversal pattern candlestick, any form of reversal pattern candlesticks, I don't have time to go through one by one, but if it closes as any form of reversal pattern candlestick, I'm gonna take this as an okay sign to get in for a buy. Just a very short buy, maybe up to here. Okay, take profit. Okay, my stop loss is gonna be here. Okay, so it's going to be a very tight trade, a fast trade, I hope. Wow, I really don't like these settings. Okay, why is it so huge? I'm sorry guys, give me a why is it oh, how do I make the visibility like small? Okay, there you go. Wow. Yeah, so I used to, every time I do these webinars with you guys, I usually use my personal account. It's just that I've been told to use IC Markets account. Okay, so it's gonna be a 1 to 3 trade. I don't think that's terrible if it works out. Okay, I mean, if this is in fact the correct entry, technically it's gonna continue going up. It's just that right now I don't know if this is the correct entry or if this is the correct entry. So I'm just gonna aim conservatively back to this last swing high. Or if you want to be even more conservative, back to this last swing low. Okay, that's being very, very conservative. If you do back to that last swing low, it's probably going to be a one-to-one trade, which doesn't even make sense anymore. Okay, I don't take one-to-one trades. I only take 1 to 3 trades. Minimally, I only take 1 to 3 trades. Okay, so if, I mean, that's a spinning top, right? Bullish pin bar. Is that a bullish pin bar? I guess you can consider that a bullish pin bar depending on the next candle and depending what happens next. Okay, but you need to monitor this. I might just get in here. If I get stopped out, then that means that this is not the entry and this is the entry. If I don't get stopped out, I'll probably be able to make this 1 to 3. So most likely I'm going to take 2 trades. That means I'm going to risk in total 2%. If I get it correct, then I make 3%. If I get it wrong, I lose 1%, and then I'm going to try again when price gets here. Okay? So this is my analysis for ETH. I'm very biased for buy, just not sure if it's entry 1 or 2. So conclusion is I'm going to try both. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be entry 1 or 2, but I'm going to try both. That means I might just get into this trade if it pulls back here, give me a better entry. I might just get into this trade. If I'm wrong, I'm going to get stopped out and I'm going to lose 1%. If I'm correct, I'm going to make 3%. Okay, but if I'm wrong, then I'm going to try again when price comes here. When price comes here, then my stop loss is going to be right under here. Okay. Although there are already signs showing that this could be the entry, because like what Jamilu said, that there is a bearish channel. Okay, there is a bearish channel. There is a bearish channel happening here. So it could be a sign. It could be a sign that price wants to go lower to this point. But I just don't know, because it could be a bearish channel or it could just be a pullback. It could just be a pullback back to this area and then continuation. Okay. So I don't know for sure, but right now I'm narrowing down to one of this entry. I'm gonna end up trying both. I'm gonna pull out that channel again. I mean, on the minimal, if it's gonna respect this channel, at least it's gonna pull back to this channel. So I mean, if you're afraid, you can really just take profit. I could really just take profit here at that overlap, right? But then I won't get into such a trade where the trade doesn't make sense. Okay, so that is ETHUSD. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Okay, gold still. My colleague even put a question mark. Still moving sideways. I told you guys, wave 4 is so boring. Wave 4 is the wave that bores you out. It's gonna keep moving sideways to shake everyone off. Okay, so you would think we do XAU USD every week, right? You think by now it would have done a breakout, but it has not done a breakout. Again, so what I think XAU USD is doing is a W, X, and now a Y, okay? That's what I think is happening. W, X, and Y comes in many variation. The Y could end here. It could end below the W. It can end slightly above the W. But the variation that I think is happening is this, where it is making a triangle. Okay, so I think it is making a triangle, which is this. Okay, so within W, X, and Y, within Y, there's usually a B, C, D, and then we're probably finishing the E. Let me change this to a different color. Why are the lines not around? Man, I really do not like this. I really do not like the settings. Okay. wherever E ends, that's, I mean, this is just based on my opinion, okay? E, if I'm on the correct WXY, okay? So if you go on Elliott wave for WXY, okay, there's going to be many variations, okay? You can have the flat any three and then a triangle. You can have a zigzag any three and then a zigzag. You can have a zigzag flat triangle. Okay, I already said that. Oh yeah, no, this is a different one. This is a zigzag flat triangle. Basically, there is a few variation of WXY, and it could also end up being a WXYZ, right? That is why you shouldn't be trading wave 4, because it's so many variation, you don't know which variation it is. Okay, you just don't know which variation it is. I am just assuming we are in a WXY and we're finishing off ABCDE right now. So right after ABCDE, it usually starts with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's what usually happens after the ABCDE is ended. How do we know that ABCDE is ended? There is usually a breakout of the triangle. Okay, that is your confirmation. Once you see a breakout of a triangle and it breaks this high, it breaks this high, and it breaks this high, that is your final confirmation that the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has started, and then you should be getting ready to get in for a buy. Where should you get in for a buy? The end of wave 2. Okay, you should get in for a buy at the end of wave 2. So we are not going to try to play wave 1. We are going to wait for the end of wave 2 and then start playing wave 3. Okay, start playing wave 3. It doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. So personally, for me, my advice is to stay out for XAUUSD. Okay, stay out for XAUUSD until the breakout happens, until there is a finishing of wave 2, and then you can start with wave 3. Okay, so right now, although I think price is doing a B, C, D, and then E, I think it's doing a B, C, D, E. I dare not confirm. Because wave 4 has a tendency to keep going sideways. So if this ABCDE does not work out, it might end up doing a WXYZ. Okay, WXYZ. It might end up doing a WXYZ. Let me see what the WXYZ looks like. Yeah, so WXYZ can look at WXY and then Z, and then just keeps continuing. WXY, yeah, these are the variations. Okay, so I'm not going to try to trade wave 4. I'm just gonna patiently wait. In the meantime, we can go look at other charts. Okay, you do not have to force a setup. If there is no trade for that particular pair, just stay out. Just stay out and do not trade it. You don't have to trade it. Okay, if you guys are feeling ambitious, you can just try to trade within the triangle. That means when price comes to this end of the triangle, you can try to get in for a setup, but I personally would not do that. Okay, so next, let's do EURUSD. Okay, so as you can see, when we're doing ETHUSD and XAUUSD, I was using Elliott wave to find my setups, because for ETHUSD and XAUUSD, I find that Elliott wave works very well. So I've been trading these two pairs for a long time. Oh, last week I did 2%, by the way. I did 2% profit. Okay, the reason why it was 2% and not 3%, because usually I take 1 to 3 setups, is because I took my profit earlier on, because I was seeing signs of there was news was going to come out, and I didn't want price to wick my stop loss, so I got out at 2% profit. So I ended last week with 2%. It's okay, I guess. If every week I do 2%, I'm going to end the month at 8%, which is pretty healthy, honestly. It's pretty healthy. Okay, so let's do XAUUSD. So again, ETHUSD and XAUUSD, I usually do Elliott wave. And then for EUR, USD, and GBP, JPY, I do price action. So I just use support, resistance, trend line, the usual stuff, okay? Ow, I just knocked my foot on my chair. Oh, that was so painful. Okay, let's see what's happening with EURUSD. Looks like it went back up again. Okay, this is why you should not trust trend line breakouts. Okay, this is why you shouldn't trust trend lines. Okay, so remember at one point price was doing this, right? If you are looking at this way, price is doing this, right? Or if you just take it from this way, price is doing this. So it looks like it's done a very clean breakout and then a retest, and then whatever's going to happen here, nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen here. That's why you can see price going sideways. You see how there's 1, 2, 3, 4 candles just going sideways, because even people are confused. Is it going up or is it going down? Okay, so depending on how you draw the trend line, it looks like if I draw it this way, right? If I draw the trend line this way, it looks like we are still on an uptrend, right? It looks like we are still on an uptrend. But if I draw it this way, if I draw the trend line this way, then it looks like we are on a downtrend, right? It looks like there's a breakout and then we're on a downtrend. So are we on an uptrend or a downtrend? Question mark. So if it's a question mark, that is a very dangerous game to play, because like I said, I always say this in all my webinars, if you cannot decide if price is going up or down, you cannot win this battle. Knowing if it's an uptrend or a downtrend would have won you 50% of the battle. Okay, knowing if it's an uptrend or downtrend would have won you 50% of the battle. Why? Because if it's an uptrend, you look for a buy entry. If it's a downtrend, you look for a sell entry. Okay, so right now the trend isn't clear, because if I draw it this way, it's still an uptrend. But if I draw it this way, it is a trend line breakout. Okay, it is a trend line breakout. So is it an uptrend or downtrend? Okay, so let's see what constitutes an uptrend. It is lower, it's higher highs, higher lows. So right now, still moving in an uptrend, still moving in a very clear uptrend. Even if I draw a channel, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so nice, right? If I draw it this way, depending on how you draw your channel, it could be very nice. Yep, this is a very nice channel. See, depending on how you draw a channel, it is a very nice channel. So I'm going to have to make a decision. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a decision. I personally, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm a bit more biased of it still being an uptrend. Okay, I am biased that it's still on an uptrend. Okay, why? Let's pull out DXY. Let's pull out DXY. Right, DXY is the US dollar index, and you kind of see weakness. It's showing a lot of weakness, right? It's showing like it's not able to push higher, right? So it's the same as EURUSD, even though if you draw it a certain way, it looks like it's a trend line breakout, but it seems like it's not able to push lower, right? It looks like there's resistance. So I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that I'm 60% biased that it's an uptrend, and maybe I'm 65% biased that it's an uptrend, and maybe 35% biased that it's a downtrend. So I'm a bit more biased. I'm leaning towards it being uptrend. Okay. Sorry guys. Yeah, so I'm leaning for it to be, I'm leaning towards it being an uptrend. Okay, now that I have already made my decision on where I think it's going, I now can decide what I want to do. So because I think it's an uptrend, I now need to look for a buy entry, right? Because I think it's an uptrend, I now need to look for a buy entry. Yeah, I know there's like it's very confusing, because if you draw it this way, now it's a downtrend, right? If you draw it this way, it's a downtrend. If you draw it a certain way, it's an uptrend. Okay, so I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go with it being an uptrend. Okay, or if you want to be safe, wait for the breakout of all these highs. Wait for the breakout of all these highs, and then you can confirm that it's an uptrend. But at this current point in time, I'm just gonna do my very, like, it's just a bias, right? It's just a bias that we are on an uptrend, okay? Okay, I'm gonna do this channel here. Again, depending on how you draw it. Okay. Now that this is not going to be a very strong analysis because I'm not even 100%, I'm not even very confident with the trend, but I'm just going to do my analysis anyways. Okay, there's going to be a overlap here. Overlap means that there is a swing high and swing low meeting at the same point. Okay, there's an overlap here, there's a swing, another overlap here. Okay, at least even if you just highlight swing highs and swing lows, you should be able to trade within those swing highs and swing lows. Okay, so I don't know exactly where the trend is going because it's too conflicting. There's so many conflicting information right now, okay, with EUR/USD. So I'm gonna put first resistance. Resistance is here, and the support being here. Okay, that means support being here. Where's my support? Am I blind? Am I not seeing support? Okay, I don't want it to be dotted. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna resistance here, the dotted. Okay, so I'm gonna say that this is gonna be my sell, and this is gonna be my buy areas. Okay, if price comes here, I'm gonna be looking for a sell entry. Okay, if price comes here, this is gonna be my kind of like my buy zone. Okay, this is again not a high probability setup. Okay, at this current point of time, we've done 3 analyses, and the only one that I think is a bit more high probability is ETH/USD. Although I'm not sure whether it's buy entry 1 or 2, okay, I think it is a strong buy. I think it's a strong buy. I'm just not sure if it's this or this, but I know it's either one of it. Okay, I'm confident that it's either one of it. XAUUSD, I'm just gonna wait for the breakout, so that's gonna take a while. That's gonna, like, it could take September, it could be next month, it could even be October, whatever it is. Okay, this is gonna take a while. Okay, EUR/USD, because there's so many conflicting directions, either an uptrend or a downtrend. I'm not sure if it's an uptrend or a downtrend, right? So so right now what I'm gonna do is just highlight key levels, and then I might just trade from these key levels, but it's not a high probability setup. So if I'm getting in here, this is gonna be my this is gonna be my sell zone. Okay, and if price gets here, I'm gonna consider getting in a buy zone here. Why is my zone so big? Because I'm trying to get all the overlap to get in. So the overlap ends here and starts here. Okay, that's why my zone is so big. Okay, so this is gonna be my buy zone. Okay, I cannot give a very clear analysis for this one because of how conflicting the direction is. But I am more biased of it being a buy. Okay, although it's conflicting, I'm just slightly leaning towards it being a buy. Therefore, if price gets here, hi Nata what? Okay, so if price gets here, I will consider getting in on a buy somewhere here. Let me just pull out some areas, some fib levels to see if anything lines up there. 50%, 38.2%. Okay, this is the problem. The 50% lines up in the entire zone, so it's not like it's helping us narrow down anything. Downside confirmation or upside confirmation? Yeah, it's hard right now. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. That's why if you go on the daily charts, you see 4 candles going sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles going sideways. Because for the last 4 days, I think majority of people are also not sure of the direction, right? The majority of people also don't know if you should be getting in on a sell or getting in for a buy. But anyways, this will be my buy and sell zone. If price gets here, I'm going to consider a sell. If price gets here, I'm going to consider a buy. Okay, let me see. There's also another swing low here, but I think I'm more favorable to this one. This is a stronger zone. Okay, so that's all I have for EUR/USD. Sorry, I don't have much for EUR/USD because I cannot confirm the direction. Right, I cannot really confirm the direction. Look, it looks like an uptrend right now, right? It looks like an uptrend, but if I just zoom out a little more, just a little bit more, it's a downtrend. Right? So it's very conflicting. It's very conflicting. So what I'm gonna do is just highlight zones, and then these are basically the zones I think that price is going to react off. Okay, I think price is gonna react off these zones. Okay, but I'm more biased of it being a buy. Okay, next will be GBP JPY. Give me a moment, guys. I have 4 more minutes, so I got 4 minutes to do this analysis with you guys. Price is basically moving sideways, nothing new. We've been looking at these charts for a while now. It's basically just moving sideways, right? I need sorry, I need price to do a breakout before I can confirm anything. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume it's going to come down. Okay, because price came here 1 time, 2 times, I guess this is 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, 11 times, 12 times. Why am I even counting all the small ones? Because this is a daily chart. Hi. Oh, you're from Thailand. We actually have a Thai webinar, but I don't know what day it is. We have a Thai analyst who does this Thai webinars on certain days. You just need to go and find out on IC Markets which day it is. Okay, and then now it's here for the 12th time. Look, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times, price came here and reversed. Okay, is it going to reverse? Is it going to break out now on the 14th time? Or is it going to reverse on the 14th time? Okay, based on data, I'm going to assume it's going to reverse for the 14th time. Okay, based on data, I'm going to assume it's going to reverse for the 14th time. So just remember this. It came here 13 times, and 13 times it reversed. Okay, 1, 2, sorry, this is not counted. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, this is a 12th time. Sorry, it's not a 14th time. It's 12th time. Price came here 11 times before this, and it could not break this zone. Do you think it's going to suddenly break right now? There is a chance that it's going to suddenly break right now, but I'm biased that it's going to just reverse this 12th time. Okay, I'm biased that it's going to reverse this 12th time. Why? Because, look, if it happened 12 times, right? It happened 11 times before. It reversed 11 times. If it doesn't reverse on the 12th time, if it breaks out on the 12th time, I'm just going to say that you're really unlucky. We're really unlucky. I'm just going to put this to luck and say that it reversed 11 times. If on the 12th times, it suddenly decides to break out on the 12th time rather than reversing, that was just really bad luck on my side. Okay, so I'm going to assume it's going to break out. It's going to reverse now. I know one day it's going to break out. It's going to break out one day. I know for sure. It's going to break this zone one day. Okay, I'm just hoping that it's not today. I'm just hoping that it's not this time. Okay, so what I think is going to happen is price is going to reverse here. This is going to be my sell zone. Okay, my take profit can be somewhere here. But I mean, if you're looking at this, the zone is huge. Technically, price is supposed to move within here. Right? Technically, it's supposed to keep moving sideways, right? So just being very, very conservatively, just being very, very conservative, I'm gonna just find the next swing low. Okay, can either aim here, which is very conservative, have your stop loss here, right above that zone. Your sell entry here. Sell entry here, then you'll take profit this swing low. Okay, this looks like a 1 to 2 trade actually. Yeah, that looks like a, I'm gonna put it slightly, just okay, 1 to 2 trade, if not a 1 to 1.5. I don't like this setup. Yeah, I don't like it. It's too, it doesn't, 1 to, I mean, it also depends where you get in, right? If you get in on a better side, it could be 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2 is, it's okay, but obviously I'm someone who likes to aim for 1 to 3 at least. Okay, so 1 to 2 is not like a very favorable trade to me, but if you want to be ambitious and aim for the really bottom end, it can be 1 to 7, because technically the potential for this trade is this big. Technically the potential is here. Okay, because it's supposed to move like this, right? If it's a rectangle, then by right it's moving within the rectangle. Okay, so this is actually very short compared to where it can go. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Oh, actually, I'm doing a webinar on Wednesday, but that's in Bahasa, so that's not English, right? So if you guys want the English webinar, I'll see you guys next Monday. If you guys can speak Bahasa, any of you are from Indonesia or from Malaysia, and you want to join my Bahasa webinar, that's happening on Wednesday. Okay, otherwise I'll see you guys next Monday. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks AJ, thanks HMH, Bob, Buddha, Boaz, Jamilu, Natawat. I will see you guys again next week. Take care guys. Bye.